Hi, good morning. This is Katie O'Party. Wanted to check back in with just a little bit of a follow-up on the art canvas board that I was working on that I showed in one of my previous videos. When I left it, I had not added any of the trim or ribbon or any of that. And for now, I think this is probably how I am going to leave this. I don't know. Part of me wants to add just an immense amount of trims and all kinds of stuff, and then another part of me just says, be comfortable with the open space and let it be. So I can always go back and add more later, but for now I'm just going to leave it. I have this organza kind of ribbon, which I affixed with some of these are brads, and they just look like little screws. If I was really handy and dandy, I guess I could have used a real screw, but in any case, I just have this ribbon so that it can be hung by the ribbon. Let's see, I added this trim along the bottom that I bought that I just fell in love with. It's kind of organza with these little flowers, and I don't know, I love that. It makes me really happy right now. Then I could not, of course, let it go without some kind of flower, so I combined a couple little flowers that I distressed and used some mists on. I used the little button that I was just dying to use on here, and then I added some of the organza that I used to hang it with because I just thought it looked more finished that way. So that is how this ended up looking, and if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear them. And that is what this is right now. So just one little last look, and I'm going to hang it in my art shack. So that's that. I have another thing that I want to share since I'm sharing today. Let me set this down over here. This was my very first canvas that I did a few weeks ago. I've been seeing all people doing all these beautiful canvases, and so I happened to come across some that were really on sale, like half off at, I don't know, Michael's or Hobby Lobby, one of those. And so I bought 4 of them. I think it was buy one, get one free or something. But they're a little thicker than the ones I usually see. And I think this is about like a 5x7 size. So I thought, what the heck, I'm going to try to do one. And so this is my very first canvas. And what I did was I used gelatos for the background. I used some modeling paste in different areas. I think these flowers really came out great. I'm so happy with them. And then I did some part of a mask that I have. I just used like the corners. So I did this medallion shape here and down here. And then I had some packing material. That's what this stuff is here. And I kind of carried it over to the sides, over the edges. And then I used gelatos, some mists, some sprays. I went over the whole thing with like Tattered Angels Glimmer Glam towards the end. And then I had these beautiful butterflies that I've had for years, since I very first started scrapbooking years ago. And they came in this little kit that you actually, I think they're meant for making jewelry out of them, but I never did that. And so I ran across them and I thought, oh, well, I could maybe use these on some of the mixed media stuff and the scrapbooking that I do. So I use mists, various different mists, and then I just cut them out when I want to use one. But what I really like is that they're so delicate, but they will hold, like if you bend the wings, they seem to hold that just fine. So I have these left, and then I don't know where I'll find them. I think this was from a company called Paper Couture. And I don't know if they're still around, but I'm going to have to find out because I don't know what I'm going to do when these run out. Anyway, that's that. So, this was my first canvas. I feel like it came out really well. I used a little bit of cardstock, this really awesome trim that I got at Joann's. Some little blingy things, some pearls. I got these flowers and these strings of pearls from Swirly Doo's Kit Club. They have a flower add-on every month, so if you're into scrapbooking at all, or just some embellishment stuff, they have loads of it, and it's really pretty. So that is my first canvas, and I'm so into the pinks and purples right now. I don't know why, but I just really am. So there's that. And then here's another thing that I did just this week for a challenge at Swirly Doo's Kit Club. I feel like I'm not getting a very good angle here, but in any case, the challenge, let me move this back just a hair. Maybe that will help. So I'm trying to figure this out still. Anyway, the challenge was trash to treasure. So you were supposed to use packaging from the March Swirly Doo's kit. And so this is all like Prima packaging, all different packaging that came from the March kit that I had. So what I did was I took the thing that I'm probably most proud of on this is these little medallions. There's 3 of them. Let's see if I can get a little closer. There's one, and then the other. There, you can really see the pattern. And then the third one is the big one right up here. What I did was I made molds. Here's the tray that some metal embellishments came in. It's like this. I'll move this so you can kind of see. Okay, so here the metal embellishments came in this tray. Well, I thought, you know, I could cut those out and use those on my piece, but then I started thinking I've really gotten into making molds with some of that, you know, the Need a Mold is what I have, which is this stuff that I got from an art retreat last year. And there's 2 parts. Anyway, that's a whole separate video on actually doing it. But here are my molds. So what I did was I made molds of the bottom of the packaging. So I had my mold putty, and I just smushed it out, smush, around. You know, I think you wait like 10 minutes, and then, whoops, there's one. And then you take them off, and you can see that they came out actually really pretty good. There's a few little bubbles, you know, where there were air bubbles, but you know what? I really think that's kind of cool, actually. So that's what I did. And then I poured some resin and made some medallions out of them, which I thought would be really cool to put on here. So the medallions are my favorite. I distressed them with inks and sprays, and I just couldn't stop. So that's those. Then this is the plastic packaging from, I can't even remember what was in it, but I did some gessoed it, and then I did some misting and some stuff. So it's got a kind of a cool thing. And at first I thought I would use this as like a little plate rack and use these as little plates, but then I decided, you know, I love these words, and so I cut out all the words from the package, and I just put these little triangles were on another package maybe a month or so ago that I can't even remember what. It was probably Prima or Petaloo or something that this came on. So then I thought, well, maybe I could just make these little word tree, arrow, whatever little things. And they're removable. And so I made those, and I used the paper bag that our flowers came in to make the little background pieces. And then I used the packaging. I just sprayed, inked, whatever. So I used my Vagabond, no, scratch that. I used my Martha Stewart